Hey everybody, please excuse the slightly bouncy iPhone footage here, but I'm going to do just a quick update on the channel, which is basically not a channel yet, but it is coming soon. So watch in the upcoming year. I'll be doing a lot more of C4 content and some D2 content. So watch for that. I know the YouTube channel has existed for a long time and there's a few things here and there, but it's going to become more of a regular thing. So if you like old school Audi stuff, just kind of tell some stories because I am now old as well. Keep your eyes out for that. And without further ado, I'm going to give you a quick update on this D2 S8. So what you see here is my Garage Queen D2 S8. It was actually my wife's former daily driver, and in September of 2020, she got hit by a teenage girl in a Jeep who didn't know how the flashing yellow light system worked here, and it's basically managed to total the car. Now, with that said, the damage was actually not that significant, and so I was able to buy this car back. Luckily, I found a $1,000 parts car. There was, believe it or not, a 2001 S8 within 3 miles of me for sale at a local shop. And I basically purchased that car. It had this hood, which is waiting install, had the front fenders, the front bumper, basically everything I needed in order to put this one back correct. Luckily for me, I'm going to go up to the front of the car here. The damage to this car was basically confined to this bracket right here. Took out the receiver dryer, and it bent the crash tube that bolts to the rest of the structure of the car. As you can see, this frame rail here is fine. The rest of the structure of the car is fine. Could not believe it. It did break off the tensioner, the electronic portion of the tensioner. I was able to actually fix that from a spare, not a big deal. Crunched the clip a little bit, but we'll have that fixed without too much effort and kind of go from there. So it basically, as I mentioned, didn't get any of the suspension. It didn't do anything too significant, didn't blow the airbags at all. In fact, the car ran and drove on and off of the tow truck after the crash and drove more or less into my garage here, even when it was damaged. So it wasn't really that bad of a hit in the grand scheme of things. So really got lucky. And while I had it apart, it's got all new ignition coils, cleaned up the valve covers, new valve cover gaskets, all new timing belt. All that's going back together shortly. We got all the aluminum arms here. Aluminum oil filter housing is on it. New AC lines. Obviously the receiver dryer here. This pulley was slightly bent, and so I have a new pulley on that. And then we also had a slight bend in this timing belt cog. So I have a new one of those waiting to go on as well, which is hanging out down there. So yeah, this car is pretty close to being finished. It just needs to get all the timing stuff wrapped up, and then I can put the front clip off of the parts car, which is over here. And I spent a lot of time really cleaning out the radiator and condenser. I think had been changed on this at some point. They don't look original, obviously. And I put a new electric fan on it, and so that will go back on. And the rest of the front bumper is actually downstairs in a shop room getting basically rebuilt because the parts car middle section of the bumper was in good shape, but the lower was trashed. And mine was exactly the opposite, so kind of got lucky. But inside the car, so this is the 03. It is a Ming Blue on the white interior. See, I've got the stereo system out, and the Kenwood Apple CarPlay receiver is going to go back into this. So I've been running wires for the, basically I have it wired so I can plug an iPhone in on the center console here, and then also running the microphone. Right now it's just sitting down in that corner, but we'll figure out a spot for that. And also working on trying to get the dash cam wired in. I did replace the glass in this car, which was kind of unfortunate because I had actually put new glass in this car just a few years prior to the crash, and wouldn't you know it, during the crash, it broke. And in fact, it literally put about a 3-inch crack. That was all that happened. But it was in the bottom driver's corner. So once again, found some decent glass, which is Pilkington, as you can see here, and have that in. And yeah, finish up the stereo and basically start putting things back together. I can start putting the fenders on. It will actually go in for paint in the spring of next year, because Minnesota winters here are not too nice. And I still have to take this car to have it inspected. So once it's salvaged, I have to go have it inspected and basically show the receipts for everything that I've done on this car. So, you know, I've got the copy of the title from the S8 that I had purchased, and basically every little component that I put on this fixing it. Show that. Basically, I think they just kind of look at the car, see that it's in fact whole and everything kind of works. I don't think they even do a full safety inspection, but they just want to know that you basically didn't steal the parts to rebuild your car, I think. So yeah, it'll hopefully see some winter use again this winter, and I will be able to put the pearl white S4 in the place of either the S8 or this car, which I think is going to go somewhere else for the winter. Little tropical storage. So there you have it. Relatively quick update. But like I said, watch for a lot more of this car and that car and the pearl car in the upcoming year. So I know this isn't the most interesting thing to look at right now, but oh yeah, you can see we got the nice aluminum bleeder screws set up in here from Rich Andrews in Texas, who had those custom made. So yeah, this thing will be should be pretty bulletproof once it's back together. So knock on aluminum. We'll talk to you next time.